Hey YouTubers, we got some really awesome Purge news. So guys, you guys know I really like these movies. I'm going to basically just go through this as quickly as possible. Personally, I think that this is cool, but I'm a little concerned about it going into it. Just basically, I'll get to it. So Vulture has actually talked to James DeMonico about Purge the Island, or Purge 4, whatever you want to call it right now, about like basically what is it about and everything, and he did let a couple things slide. I'm going to read it to you right now just so we get a feel for it. He says, it takes place on Staten Island, which is cool. The first experimental purge. So, I mean, after that, he just basically jokes about whether or not he's allowed to talk about it. And then he basically says, I think Island is the most crowd-pleasing of the films. More than the previous films, there's a singular hero in the movie, which is one man's journey, William, an anti-hero inspired by Eastwood in Unforgiven. So it's very cool, modern kind of badass who redeems himself through the story. So this is kind of cool in my opinion. I feel like it is kind of awesome. Personally, if this is a prequel, considering it's the very first experimental purge, kind of like the new founding fathers, probably the birth of the new founding fathers, figuring out that this is how they want to take it, and maybe you get a little political with it, but hopefully not. The last film got so political that I really hope they kind of take it back and decide to be a little bit more crowd-pleasing, but from what he's basically saying right now, I think that that's exactly what they're going to do, and I'm really happy about that. But with it being a prequel, I'm not necessarily sure about. So many franchises have been going to prequels, especially the Blumhouse features have been going to prequels lately, that I'm not necessarily sure that it's good for the film or it's good for the franchise. Just go forward, although at the same time the election year movie basically did write them in a corner. There's no more purges, and then you kind of have to do an uprising, and that type of story is no longer that fun, although it would be somewhat of a realistic story, or at least something that a lot of people can gravitate towards, especially in this day and age with the political climate in the air. And not unlike what we saw from the other night's American Horror Story cult that premiered, is you get political and then you kind of show how fear dictates how people live, and if you break that down, or if you break down the wall that's keeping people safe and stuff, how would they react, and how the hate and violence and all that stuff comes out, and it's no longer confined to just that 12-hour period. I think that's pretty cool. So I guess there is some good things here and there to consider why they would go backwards instead of forwards, but I'm honestly kind of on the fence right now. I'm not necessarily sure. One of the things I hope they do with this, and just you can agree or disagree with me, but if they're going to do an experimental purge a couple hours on Staten Island, then I hope for the most part that they have somewhat of a battle royale theme, instead of the bombs on the net killing people, but it's just like last man standing. And it's not necessarily, considering they want to show that this works, then they would take a whole bunch of poor people, or not even rich people, and show them that, yeah, if you allow people to do whatever they want over the course of a couple of hours, then yeah, you'll probably whittle down the population, and look how many poor people we killed. So it goes to kind of, I guess, to put a stamp on the mythology of the movies that they've been building up to this point, and at the same time be kind of fun and enjoyable, like he's saying. So guys, I want everyone to go down to the comment section below and tell me what you think about this. Do you think that sounds like a fun movie? Are you mad or sad or happy that it's actually a prequel instead of a direct sequel to the election year? And also, any other thoughts you have on the Purge movies. Do you like the films? Do you not like the films? Tell me in the comment section below. But with that being said, guys, I want everyone to like, comment, subscribe. Click that bell over by the subscriber button to notify you every single time I upload. And I hope everyone has a good day. It's been real.